playing our kind of music. None of our kind of stuff.
No Beethoven.
No Beethoven. None of the symphony. Just the new stuff.
No John Paul and Ringo. 3-1 the count. 3-2. He thought it was a little low on the sinker.
I don't agree with him on that one. I thought that was a pretty good pitch too. So, not that I get a vote here, but it looked like a pretty good pitch. Let's take a look here.
Well, I know Dwight Gooden would have thought that was a great pitch.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough pitch, but pretty good pitch.
And Jeff Kellogg may not have appreciated how he took about 3 steps towards first base like that.
Yeah, I would suggest if this one is in the same area that he take a hack at it.
You better be hacking.
He's a boy.
He gets the walk. And at midnight tonight, baseball tonight, I'm really getting into baseball tonight these days. They're really giving it the full Monty in their coverage. Don't forget also, if you're out and about tonight, ESPN Radio will have the Cubs and Braves as well. Wherever you go, the game will go with you. Let's say you go to the opera. Bring your Walkman. Nobody will be any the wiser. Bill Spires, who hit a double his first time into the alleyway in left center. Biggio at first. Muscles one into right center. Finley on the run. Can't get to it. It ricochets away. Quinn's going to go have to chase it. Biggio will be held at third. And Biggio could not just start running at will there because he knows that his former teammate Finley is well capable of catching almost anything out there. Another double for Spires.
Well, Finley almost made a great catch. And you described this perfectly. He muscled this ball. He didn't hit it that well, but he hit it in the right area, and the ball bounces away. Now watch Tony Gwynn's going to his right. Now watch Tony. He can't just stop and turn around. He has to make a circle. But it was going to be a double anyway, but you see Tony Gwynn always hits the cutoff man. Well, the one thing to remember, you have runners at second and third. I've always felt that a hitter should be, with no one out, a hitter should be thinking like there's a runner at second base. By that I mean Derek Bell should be trying to hit the ball the other way. Trying to get a base hit, of course, but if he hits the ball to the right side, not only will Biggio score, but Spires would go over to third base with less than 2 outs, so they could score 2 runs here with 2 ground balls to the right side or a ground ball to the right side and a fly ball. So it's not as important for him to get a base hit as it is to make sure he moves each runner 1 base. If he pulls the ball to shortstop, sure, Biggio is going to score from third, but Spires would have to remain at second.
Stu back to the dugout, and the Astrodome is rocking. Biggio at third, Spires at second. 2-0 to Derek Bell. Jeff Bagwell on deck.
Well, we saw Carl Everett swing 3-0 in the game the other day with no one on. I don't know if you let a guy swing 3-0 with Bagwell and a Lou coming up next, but we'll see how Larry Durkett plays this.
I'm having him take, Joe.
I would too.
And it's 3-1. Oh, man, he should have swung.
I don't know. That ball had a lot of movement on it. It ended up in the middle of the plate, but I tell you what, that was a good moving fastball.
All right, so he didn't just groove a straight fastball
no, he didn't
in there.
throw the straight fastball.
3-1. He'll be ready to swing on this one, that's for sure. Two.
Well, he tried to pull that, but now that the count is 3-2, you forget about everything and just try to get a base hit. You don't necessarily still try to go to the right side.
Bruce Bochy, his pitching coach, Dave Stewart. Stu got his game face on. Andy Ashby. All kinds of trouble here in the third inning. He's trailing 1-0 already. 3-2 the count. Check swing foul.
came with a slider there, and I'm not so sure that Bell was prepared to handle that pitch.
Well, he fooled him badly with strike 2 the last time on a big curveball.
Well, you see Tom McGraw telling him, get the ball up, get it up. That one was up.
Second and third, nobody out.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah, just the opposite. Slider down. Well, it's just getting worse and worse for Derek Bell. He's now stranded 6 base runners in these 2 games. 4 today, and still hitless in postseason play.
Well, he threw him a slider the pitch before. Now he comes with a curveball. And he said, I just told him not to swing at anything down.
Sycamore likes to have that low strike.
And all of a sudden, Ashby's ball is getting more movement on it, John, than it had at the beginning of this inning and last inning. A lot of movement there. And that's what you want from a sinker ball pitcher. And maybe it was just a little strong at the beginning, and maybe he's tiring a little bit. And sometimes when a sinker ball pitcher tires, the ball sinks a little better.
Base hit. Biggio scores, and Spires will also score. Jeff Bagwell delivers. 3-0 Astros.
This pitch here is either a slider or it's a slider that doesn't do much. You see, that ball didn't sink at all. It was a slider or a cut fastball and up a little bit, and Bagwell ripped it up the middle. Now the guru is happy. Yeah, he said, that's what I was talking about. Dave Stewart is not happy.
It depends on which guru you're talking about. Moises Alou, Bagwell at first. 2 runs in. Bagwell, who will steal a base if you don't keep an eye on him. He has 19 steals for the year. Well, that's got to be a big lift for Bagwell. I mean, until today, he had never driven in a run in a postseason game. And until that at bat, he was 1 for 17 in the postseason. Slowly to the right side. Silvio Vera actually used his hand that time to make the play. And number 2, Bagwell moving to second. Alou is 0 for 2.
When we talked to Bagwell before the ballgame, John, he was very relaxed. In fact, he was far more relaxed than I thought he would be. I thought he'd be a little bit upset and uptight, but he was relaxed. He said, hey, we just have to put it out of our mind and go get them. He said, we're a little better prepared now than we were when we faced the Braves last year. We're much better hitters, we're more experienced, and we know more about what it takes to win in this situation.
And I thought that was a revealing comment, but also Biggio said, hey, listen, is it unfair that they keep putting all the heat on us because we haven't had a hit yet? He said, hey, it's just a fact of life. Until we do what we're supposed to do, it's going to be a story. Sometimes a guy, when he's feeling the heat, will get real defensive about it.
Right. No, you're right. But the one thing about the Killer Bees, they've always taken their share of the responsibility. Last year when they didn't do well, they said, hey, it's our fault. They were paid to do the job, and they didn't do it.
Carl Everett trying to pick Bagwell up. And the slider over the outside. 1-2. In the division series, the 3 of them, Biggio, Bell, and Bagwell, 0 for 10. Today already 2 for 5. A couple of runs scored, 3 batted in by Bagwell. Wild swing there by Everett, and Hernandez throws him out for the putout. But 2 runs for Houston. And the Bees have been bad. 3-0 Houston after 3.